Welcome to Module 11, Understanding High-Ticket Skills. This is where we stop treating skills like hobbies and start looking at them like income-producing assets. A high-ticket skill is not high-ticket because it sounds impressive. It is high-ticket because it solves a problem that matters. It helps a business make money, save money, reduce risk, move faster, create trust, or improve an outcome that has real value. This distinction matters because a one-person empire cannot be built on random talent alone. It is built on valuable ability applied to a specific market problem. You are not here to collect skills like shiny coins in a dragon cave. You are here to build capability that people are willing to pay for because the result matters. In this module, we are going to define what makes a skill valuable, why some skills command premium pricing, and how to begin choosing a skill path that can become part of your empire. Skill is leverage. Valuable skill is income potential. High-ticket skill is where capability meets urgent demand. This module shows you how to recognize the difference between a general skill and a high-ticket skill. We can cover what high-ticket skills are, what expensive problems look like, why the market pays more for certain outcomes, and how to evaluate whether a skill has real earning potential. The point is not to chase every trendy skill that appears on the internet wearing a little crown and marketing funnel. Trends can create attention, but value creates income. A high-ticket skill sits at the intersection of market demand, measurable outcome, trust, urgency, and your ability to deliver. For example, I can design graphics is a skill. I can design conversion-focused landing pages that help a service business generate booked calls. Is much closer to a high-ticket skill because it connects the work to a business result. By the end of this module, you should be able to look at a skill and ask better questions. Who needs this? What problem does it solve? What result does it create? How expensive is the problem if it stays unsolved? That is how you move from talent to value. A high-ticket skill is a skill that solves an expensive problem, creates measurable value, or helps someone achieve an outcome they care deeply about. That outcome could be financial, operational, emotional, strategic, or transformational. Businesses often pay premium prices for skills that increase revenue, reduce costs, improve systems, save time, reduce risk, attract customers, retain customers, or create clarity. Individuals pay premium prices for skills that help them earn more, change their identity, improve confidence, solve pain, build health, gain freedom, or access a better future. The key word is value. High ticket does not mean complicated. It does not mean fancy. It does not mean you need to wear a headset and say synergy on a webinar microphone. It means the problem matters enough that the buyer is willing to invest in solving it. When your skill is connected to a meaningful result, the conversation changes. People do not pay premium prices for effort alone. They pay for outcomes, confidence, speed, certainty, and trust. This is one of the most important lessons in business. The market does not pay equally for all effort. You can work extremely hard on something that the market does not value. You can also solve one sharp problem with precision and create more value in a shorter amount of time. That can feel unfair until you understand how pricing works. Pricing is not a reward for exhaustion. Pricing is a reflection of perceived value, urgency, trust, and the cost of the problem. A person may spend 10 hours designing a beautiful document and earn very little because the buyer does not see a direct business impact. Another person may spend 10 hours fixing a broken sales funnel and earn significantly more because the work is tied to revenue. The lesson is not work less. The lesson is aim your work at valuable problems. A one-person empire is not built by being busy. It is built by becoming useful in ways the market respects. Do not ask only, what can I do? Ask, what can I do that creates a result people urgently care about? The fastest way to understand high ticket skills is to understand expensive problems. An expensive problem costs someone money, time, energy, opportunity, reputation, health, peace, or momentum. For a business, an expensive problem might be missed leads, weak follow up, poor conversion, slow operations, unclear messaging, customer churn, messy onboarding, disorganized data, or manual work that eats the team alive. For an individual, an expensive problem might be feeling stuck, underpaid, invisible, overwhelmed, unhealthy, unclear, or unable to take the next step toward a better life. The more painful, urgent, recurring, or costly the problem is, the more valuable the right skill becomes. This is why the same skill can be low ticket in one context and high ticket in another. Writing captions for random posts is one thing. Writing sales emails that help a business launch a $50,000 offer is another. The skill matters. The context matters more. Businesses pay for outcomes that affect the machine. They pay more for revenue, they pay more for lower costs, they pay for saved time, they pay for reduced risk, they pay for better operations, they pay for stronger customer experience, they pay for strategic clarity. When your skill supports one of those outcomes, it becomes easier to position it as valuable. For example, AI automation can be valuable because it reduces manual work and increases speed. Sales can be valuable because it turns conversations into revenue. Copywriting can be valuable because it helps attention become action. Project management can be valuable because it protects delivery, deadlines, and client trust. The question is not whether the skill sounds impressive. The question is whether the skill moves something the business already cares about. If your skill can help a business make money, save time, reduce risk, or operate better, you are near high ticket territory. Individuals also pay premium prices, but the value drivers are often more personal. People invest in earning more, becoming more confident, improving their health, changing their identity, solving emotional pain, gaining clarity, developing skills, or building a better future. This is why coaching, consulting, education, personal development, career advancement, health transformation, and business mentorship can all become high ticket when the promise is specific and the trust is strong. But there is a warning here. You cannot just slap a premium price on vague transformation and call it luxury. That is not a business model. That is fog with a payment link. The more personal the result, the more important trust becomes. If someone is investing in themselves, they need to believe you understand the problem, have a real process, can guide them responsibly, and will not leave them wandering through motivational mist. High-ticket personal offers require clarity, care, proof, and ethical delivery. Transformation is valuable when it is grounded in a real path. A high-ticket skill usually has 5 signals. First, demand. People already need it or are actively trying to solve the problem. Second, urgency. The problem has a cost if it continues. Third, measurable value. The result can be seen, felt, tracked, or clearly understood. Fourth, trust. The buyer believes the person delivering the skill can actually help. Fifth, monetization path. The skill can become a service, consulting offer, job advantage, product, course, implementation package, or ongoing support model. When these signals are present, the skill becomes much easier to monetize. For example, AI automation for small businesses can have demand, urgency, measurable value, trust potential, and a clear monetization path if it is packaged around a simple problem like lead follow-up, customer support, intake forms, or internal reporting. The goal is not to guess. The goal is to evaluate. A high-ticket skill leaves evidence in the market. Demand matters. You may love a skill deeply, and that's beautiful. We support passion here. We also support rent being paid. A one-person empire needs to care about what the market values, not just what feels interesting to learn. This does not mean you abandon your interests. It means you connect your interests to real demand. Ask, are people hiring for this skill? Are businesses paying freelancers or consultants for it? Are there agencies built around it? Are there tools, communities, courses, or job postings related to it? Are people complaining about the problem online? Are people already spending money to solve it? Demand gives you a signal that the market recognizes the problem. If there is no demand, you may have an education problem, a positioning problem, or a market problem. Do not build your empire on wishful thinking around wearing lip gloss. Look for proof that people already care. Passion gives you energy. Demand gives you traction. A high-ticket skill becomes more valuable when the outcome is clear. The buyer should understand what changes because of your work. Not just better content, more qualified leads. Not just better systems, fewer missed follow-ups. Not just better branding, clear positioning that helps the right buyers understand the offer faster. Not just better coaching, a specific transformation, decision, capability, or result. Clarity makes value easier to see. When value is easier to see, pricing becomes easier to justify. Vague skills create vague buying decisions. Clear outcomes create confidence. This is why high-ticket skills often require more than technical ability. You need communication. You need strategy. You need the ability to explain the before, the after, and the bridge between them. The skill gets attention. The outcome gets paid. Trust is what allows a buyer to pay more. A skill can be valuable, but if the buyer does not trust you, the sale gets harder. Trust comes from proof, clarity, consistency, credibility, communication, and standards. Proof can look like case studies, samples, testimonials, demonstrations, before and after examples, audits, frameworks, portfolios, or clear explanations of your process. You do not need a giant reputation to begin, but you do need a way to reduce perceived risk. For example, if you are new to AI automation, you might create a sample workflow, document your process, show a mock before and after, or build a small pilot for a real business. Trust is built when the buyer can see that you are not just making claims, you have a process. Premium pricing is not only about what you can do, it is about whether the buyer believes you can do it reliably. Value opens the door. Trust closes the gap. Many high-ticket skills are not one isolated ability. They are skill stacks. A copywriter who understands sales strategy, buyer psychology, AI tools, analytics, and offer positioning becomes more valuable than someone who only writes pretty sentences. A project manager who understands automation, client experience, operations, and financial tracking becomes more valuable than someone who only updates a task board. An AI specialist who understands business process, documentation, customer experience, and implementation becomes more valuable than someone who only knows how to prompt a tool. This is why your one-person empire is built through stacking. One primary skill creates the core value. Supporting skills make that value more strategic, useful, and hard to replace. The market pays more when you can connect your skill to a bigger outcome. Do not become a random collector of skills. Build a stack that compounds. Let's make this concrete. Sales is a high-ticket skill because it directly affects revenue. Copywriting can be a high ticket when it helps offers, launches, funnels, emails, or landing pages convert. AI automation can be high ticket when it saves time, reduces manual work, and improves business operations. Consulting can be high ticket when it creates strategic clarity and better decisions. Project management can be high ticket when it protects delivery, deadlines, team coordination, and client trust. Data analytics can be high ticket when it helps a business see patterns, fix leaks, and make better decisions. Design can be high ticket when it improves brand perception, user experience, conversion, or customer trust. Coaching can be high ticket when it helps a person create a deeply desired transformation with a clear process. Notice the pattern. The skill becomes premium when it is attached to an important outcome. High ticket is not the category. High ticket is the value connection. Trends are tempting because they make income look easy. AI expert, funnel expert, automation expert, brand strategist, growth consultant. The internet will hand you a new identity every 15 minutes if you let it. But depth creates income. A trend can introduce you to an opportunity. It cannot replace competence. If you chase every high-ticket trend, you will constantly restart. You will know a little about many things and not enough about the thing that pays you. Your goal is to choose a skill you can develop into real ability, then connect that ability to market demand. That requires practice, it requires proof, it requires repetition, it requires getting out of the learning cave and into the market. A high-ticket skill becomes valuable through execution, not vibes, not screenshots, not a bio that says visionary with no evidence. Choose the opportunity, then build the depth. Your best high-ticket skill opportunity usually sits at the intersection of four things: what you are interested in, what you are willing to practice, what the market values, what can become a clear offer. You do not need perfect certainty. You need a strong enough direction to begin. Ask yourself, what problems do I naturally notice? What kind of work gives me energy? What skills have I already started building? What do people ask me for help with? What business or personal outcomes interest me? What skill could I practice for the next 90 days without needing a tiny violin and a rescue team? The answer does not have to be forever. It has to be focused enough for your next stage of growth. A one-person empire is built through intelligent iteration. Choose a direction, test it, build proof, refine. The market rewards clarity in motion. Here is your action step. List 5 problems people or businesses that pay premium prices to solve. Then circle the ones connected to your interests, experience, or natural strengths. For each circled problem, write one skill that could help solve it. Then choose one skill to investigate more deeply. Do not overcomplicate this. You are not choosing your entire destiny today. You are identifying where value might live. Use this simple filter. Does the problem matter? Do people already pay to solve it? Can this skill create a measurable or meaningful result? Can I realistically build competence in this area? Can this become part of my one-person empire? That is the beginning. High-ticket skills are not reserved for mysterious internet people with ring lights and dramatic hand gestures. They are built by people who choose valuable problems and develop the ability to solve them well. Choose the problem, build the skill, create the value. That is how income begins to compound.